You know, every once in a while, there's a food that manages to stand the test of time. Fads come and go in the fitness and health space. Keto, 1 year, intermittent fasting, the next. Green juice cleanses making the rounds every January. But some foods don't just survive the trends, they become classic. And when we talk about classic, muscle friendly foods, there's one little nut that's been sitting quietly in your trial mix, in your protein bars, and even in that almond butter spread across your toast, the almond. Today, we are diving deep into why almonds are often called the classic muscle nut and how this crunchy little powerhouse found its way into gyms, diets, and snack drawers all over the world. So let's start with a little backstory. Almonds have one of those histories that feels almost mythical. They originated thousands of years ago in the Middle East and South Asia, growing wild in regions that were hot, dry, and sunny. Basically, the kind of places where you would imagine people needing quick, reliable sources of energy. What is crazy is that the almond is not just a random nut somebody stumbled across. Ancient civilizations loved them so much that they show up in historical records and even religious texts. They were symbol of prosperity, fertility, and health. Fast forward through centuries of trade routes, and almonds spread across Europe, North Africa, and eventually made their way to California, which is now the almond capital of the world. Think about that for a second. California alone produces about 80% of the world's almonds. That is why when you buy a bag of almonds from the store, odds are they are Californian. Now, when did almonds become a fitness food? That is the fun part. For decades, bodybuilders and athletes were all about eggs, steak, and milk, the classic protein heavy staples. But in the 80s and 90s, as sports nutrition evolved and people became more cautious of balanced diets and healthy fats, almonds started making a comeback. They were portable, nutrient dense, and way less messy than hauling chicken breast around. Suddenly, almonds were not just a snack, they were marked as clean fuel. You would see them in gym bags, fitness magazines, and later in social media fitness culture. If you look at any what I eat in a day video from a fitness influencer, there's like a 70% chance almonds make an appearance. So why did they earn the title of muscle nut? Well, here's where things get interesting. When we talk about muscle growth, recovery, and overall performance, three major macronutrients come into play: protein, carbs, and fats. Almonds are obviously not as protein packed as chicken breast or a whey shake, but they do offer a solid hit of plant based protein, around 6 grams per ounce. That might not sound like a lot, but here's where almonds shine. It is the combination of protein, healthy fats, and micronutrients that make them special. The fats in almonds are mostly monounsaturated, which are heart healthy and help your body regulate hormones, especially testosterone, which is crucial for muscle building. Without healthy fats, your body literally struggles to create the hormonal environment you need to grow. Then there's the micronutrient side. Almonds are one of the best natural sources of vitamin E, which acts like an antioxidant shield for your muscles. Imagine you just finished a brutal leg day. You have torn muscle fibers, created inflammation, and your body is basically crying out for help. Vitamin E steps in like a repair crew, protecting cells from oxidative stress, reducing damage, and allowing recovery to happen faster. That is why people who consistently eat almonds often report feeling less sore and bouncing back quicker. Magnesium is another quiet hero in almonds. Magnesium is tied directly to muscle function and energy production. Without enough magnesium, you get cramps, fatigue, and poor recovery. And the scary part, most people don't get enough of it in their diets. Almonds help fill that gap naturally. But of course, nothing in nutrition is ever black and white. Almonds have their drawbacks too, especially if you are in the fitness game. One of the biggest issues is calorie density. These little guys are tiny, but they pack a punch. A handful might seem like nothing, but you're already 150 to 200 calories in. For someone trying to gain weight, that's amazing. For someone on a strict fat loss phase, that can be a sneaky way to blow through your calorie deficit. I remember back when I was cutting for the summer, there were days I would snack on almonds thinking it's healthy, so it does not matter. But then I would wonder why the scale was not budging. Turns out, handful after handful adds up quickly. So, almonds are definitely a food where portion control matters. Another drawback is digestion. Some people find raw almonds a little tough on the stomach, especially if they eat too much at once. That's why soaking almonds overnight is a tradition in many cultures. It softens them, makes them easier to chew, and even enhances nutrient absorption. Plus, they taste surprisingly good that way, almost buttery. Now let's put almonds into the context of workouts. Think of them as an ideal sidekick, not the superhero. You would not want to eat a huge handful of almonds right before the heavy squat session. The fat content makes them slow to digest, and the last thing you want is to feel sluggish or heavy mid workout. But as part of a pre workout snack paired with something carb based like a banana with almond butter, that's where the magic happens. The carbs give you quick energy, and the almonds provide sustained fuel so you don't crash halfway through your training. For post workout, almonds alone are not enough because your body is crying out for protein and carbs to rebuild glycogen and muscle fiber. But as an add on, like tossing almonds into a smoothie or having them alongside a protein shake, they work beautifully. It's like giving your body both immediate tools to repair and long lasting energy to keep the recovery training moving. When it comes to fat loss, almonds actually play a sneaky psychological role. They are crunchy, they take time to chew, and they are satisfying. That helps curb cravings. There's even research showing that people who include almonds in their diet tend to stick to their eating plans better because they don't feel deprived. Compare that to eating, say, a rice cake. One disappears in 2 bites and leaves you wanting more. Almonds, on the other hand, make your brain feel like you had a real snack. And let's not forget the clean eating angle. In a world where packaged snacks are loaded with added sugar, processed oil, and ingredients you cannot pronounce, almonds are refreshingly simple. They are just almonds. No ingredient list, no chemicals, just straight from the tree. When you are trying to eat clean, having a go-to like that is gold. I like to think of almonds as that reliable gym buddy who does not make the workout flashy but shows up every single day. They are not going to replace your protein shake, and they are not going to fuel a marathon on their own, but they are always there to support, to fill in the gaps, and to make the process just a little easier. So, are almonds perfect? Not quite. Are they essential? I'd argue yes, especially if you are serious about building muscle, staying lean, or just maintaining healthy eating habits that don't feel like a chore. The key is balance. Use them strategically, enjoy them in moderation, and let them do their job in the background while you focus on the big picture, your training, your recovery, and your consistency. And with that, we wrap up today's deep dive on the classic muscle nut. But before you go, let me give you a little teaser for the next episode. If almonds are the classic nut, then next time we are tackling a food that has become the poster child of health in the last decade, but might not be as innocent as you think. We are talking about kale, the so called king of greens. Is kale really deserving of the crown, or is it just overhyped marketing? Stick around for that one. It's going to get interesting. Until then, keep training hard, keep eating smart, and remember, fitness is not about perfection. It is about building a lifestyle you can stick with.